G'day guys, welcome to a massive mailbag TV episode. A day after the biggest story I've ever seen in racing, a story some of us might have thought was coming, but nothing has been proven or nothing's
been laid down and charges laid. So at this stage, whatever we say,
is our own opinions, and we're not trying to.
No, it's not our own opinions. If the facts, well, they're not facts. If the allegations that have been printed in the media and on TV are true, that's what we're working off.
If though our show could cause more damage, if he's found not guilty of anything, and our show could cause more damage than the reporting that's already been done by every.
I don't think that's possible.
It's not possible.
I think we're sweet. He's cooked either way.
Yep. So we're playing devil's advocate that everything that's been put out in the media is true, and that's what these opinions will be based on at this time.
Our focus will try and be more so on how we handle him as a betting handling his horses and his races with his horses in it as a betting proposition.
Well, the way you look at it, on a personal level, there's three lots. There's the electronic devices, which are barred. There's been word that there's been there's cocaine found.
Yeah, we're not, each their own.
The cocaine was used in the bridle and the horses, apparently.
Oh, I thought Darren was using it to just get himself going. I thought, if you go out and have big nights, Darren Weir drinks beers with everyone, he goes out to these country cups and drinks piss with everyone. Go up to 3 o'clock
you don't know which stable would found the cocaine in, because apparently Darren Weir is a cracker at sales anyway, so that's all allegations as well. So you've got the tasers, you've got the cocaine. Allegedly, I believe there was some performance enhancing powder that was from Asia, which is completely illegal as well. This has all sort of been across forums and media.
Because we're looking in front on the RSN links. The only thing I've looked at, so I went to Mornington, but the coppers are digging in front of the truck.
Yeah.
Well, they're not jigging the horse on the way to the races. That's
There's allegedly a video with polypipe and a taser being used, which these are all allegedly, we can't say, but all in all, there's three, and then there's the fraud squad or equivalent, the sporting body, the same sort of blokes that locked up the soccer rort when they were pulling them up. So if all of this is proven to be true, he's going to get a significantly long time out of racing and possible criminal charges, I'd imagine.
Is this good or bad for racing?
It's bad for the image of racing. It's good for the future of racing. That's what I reckon.
I think it's good for both, because it shows that no matter how big you are, you can go.
Yeah, I agree.
Because sometimes you kind of like when Scoot and I talk about racing, the sort of narrative is that I'm a bit too sort of deep into my own little thoughts and my own.
You talk yourself out of a lot of sort of conspiracy. Yeah, but you're probably at the track and I'm a bit removed. I'm sort of on the couch at home punting and. Yeah,
so I can get in my head that like the bigger guys can do anything they want, and I've just got to try and watch the betting and adjust.
Well, yeah, like I think
this is
everyone's got faith in the stewards to try, and their job's to police the game, which I think they're trying their best and they're doing their best at.
It shows how hard that job is, though.
Exactly, and it's tricky because whatever there's it doesn't matter what industry. If there's money to be made or there's something to gain, people are always going to try and bend the rules to suit them to get the biggest advantage.
It's not bend the rules. This is breaking the rules.
But punters, all we're trying to do is to try and figure out who's going to win the race, and we just have to assume that the stewards are doing the best that they can, and then try and figure out the puzzle and the reasons why.
The reason why Darren Weir or anyone would be doing anything to enhance their performance, it's not to win prize money, it's to wager and bet big.
And that's
so all that betting, all that action, that's why I always say just watch the fair late. Because if it is so different to what you think is the norm or what should be happening, then there's someone out there who knows a lot more than you do about that particular race, and you just need to adjust and protect yourself.
So because it's fixed.
Because it could be.
Yeah.
So from a Betfair perspective,
this proves. So there's Smurden for 7 years, and this for however long. This proves that for a very long time in racing, and you'd be very stupid to think it only happened in Victoria. There's the only ones who have caught them. It happens. But it all goes through the markets and into the fair, and if you watch, and you can protect yourself slightly.
Well, it's
So
not so much
just to
the-
clarify that, Betfair's got a bet monitoring tool, and that's live, and the stewards in every state get live access to that. So anytime there's a drift or a fluctuation, stewards and Racing Victoria, Racing New South Wales, whatever the jurisdiction, they can see every account. Not then they'll see like a numbered account, and then they can dig further into it. We get on the front foot. We can provide them anything that they want. It's all there. There's a paper trail of everything that happens on Betfair. So no other betting company in Australia does that. And so if there's something awry or there's something that the stewards need to look into, they can notify us, and they get full access to us in real time. So that's a tool that they've got on all the time. Yeah. And then we can further dig into that data. So we provide them the data, and they're the information. So if it's to be found in Betfair, it can be found. The hardest thing to find is the cash transactions.
Yeah, this is the most important thing though to talk about when we talk about this sort of aspect of the game, which gets totally ignored in all the other media. If someone was to open up a new account at Betfair and lay a horse to lose 10 grand, that'd set off all kinds of.
Yeah, we'll be able to find. Yeah, we'll be able to find it. So like, it's not, and even if it's someone that's been betting forever, and all of a sudden their patterns change, if the stewards find out that they're connected to some sort of stable or there's a pattern in there, the data's there forever.
Yeah.
So if it's a cash thing, it's a really tough, difficult thing to find. But
to know.
Everyone's like really negative about Betfair and if it's off on the fair or whatever. But Betfair's just a true marketplace, and markets react in certain ways. Big syndicates might not like a horse, there's various information, but all that information is poured into the market, so it's a representation of what the true price should be, but there's nothing hidden or... I know what you're trying to say there, but...
no, it's not hidden. I'm saying that, like, have faith in... If someone created a bullshit... if someone was doing something real dodgy and launching real hard, so if you're out there, you're watching, because it's not talked about on any other form of media, and you got in your head that someone like working with Darren Weir opens an account and lays very elegant in the Oaks to lose.
Not the Oaks, in the race before.
In the lead up race, to lose 20 grand. It'll go off and it'll set alarms and the guy will get caught, or the person will get caught.
Exactly. And
that's not entirely true.
The stewards have got access to it.
The stewards have access to it.
They have to join the dots if there's something there.
The stewards actually wrote in, that's why the federal police were involved. The stewards tried as hard as they could and didn't have the power they required. That was written in the paper for surveillance. They knew something was up, but they couldn't pin it, and that's why the federal police was involved. It's a whole, but that's only on hearsay too.
So that's important then. So that, to my mind, that means the allocation of funding in racing is not sweet.
No, it might not be racing, but this comes down to, because the federal police or the police are involved, comes into that sporting administration. It might actually be on a federal or state level.
The closest thing to supporting the punter in racing is the steward. It's the only person who has a vested interest in the punter, and they need to be able to do this stuff.
But you've got it a little bit wrong. This comes completely out of left or a different side of politics. It's like, this is essentially fraud. Like, you got ATSIC, in a commercial sense, on the ACCC and that sort of stuff. The police have got in here because it was obtaining money by deception and all that sort of stuff. So there's the racing side of things, and then there's the legalities of it all too. But let's think about the positives, and the positive is these trainers, jockeys that were thinking about doing something untoward, they'd be all running scared now.
Or maybe it's going to be a very fascinating couple of...
it's
going to be a fascinating month on like people who...
How good's it going to be?
Uninformed sectional data, the guys who drop right off over the next month who have been airborne lately, I won't miss it. Lots of people won't miss it.
The performance of horses, you mean?
Yeah, if all of a sudden their horses are going 5 lengths slower than they were, then I'll know.
Yep.
Lots of other people will know.
Yep.
So it'll scare the shit out of a lot of people, and it's going to be very interesting time to bet for the next little bit, but then long term I think it's fantastic.
It's going to be, the image of racing is tainted by this, and the problem with the image of racing is they've put this bloke on a pedestal.
Why does anyone give a fuck about the image of racing? This image of racing talk is so irrelevant.
No, it's not fucking irrelevant. You're the fucking one of the most stupid fucking people I've heard. You're a fucking idiot. I'm going to absolutely fucking launch at you here.
Go.
Did you watch the Four Corners documentary on greyhound racing, they absolutely fucked the joint.
Yeah,
There's no other way. They absolutely fucked the joint. They made it not family friendly.
What happened?
Hey?
What happened?
No one goes to dogs anymore. The dogs are rooted.
They clean the dogs up.
And no one
They
goes
clean
there.
the dogs up.
Yeah, but like we actually, it's funny that you
But
mentioned that.
that's
Don't yell at me, little man.
The actions of one.
Listen,
Fucking lefty imbecile.
I'm telling you, you've been a bit rude. Don't yell at me and don't call me fucking.
But field sizes in greyhounds have dipped now, so the averages on field size, where the effect and turnover at the moment with greyhounds is in a really dangerous spot.
It was dead before.
And this is
That
like
wasn't
12 or
dead.
18 months later.
Did you ever go to greyhounds?
I never have. I never
Exactly.
will.
I cut my teeth. I grew up. I used to work at the meadows.
Alright, so
and
your
walk
opinion
dogs.
on greyhounds is relevant, but I don't give a fuck about
But
greyhounds,
that's
and no
the-
one watching
but
probably
that's-
does. Because it's a fucking,
No,
it's
they
a
do.
low turnover sport. It's a
Is it a
sport.
low turnover
No,
sport?
it's a low sport for turnover.
It was growing significantly, and the figures at the moment are really difficult, and it's affected the greyhound saga.
Yeah.
Has affected breeding and then race numbers and now turnover, and it's
So the
similar to like
image of
EI. So
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a low turnover sport. I'm saying it's a low sport just for turnover. It's just pumped on
Comparatively.
relentlessly. Boom, 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 boom. It's a relentless, like, it may as well be like the trackside
Well, that
shit
makes
to me.
it so high. Just because you don't know something, don't hate it, Dicko. What I'm trying to say, Four Corners
No.
destroyed. Okay,
Don't
what
say,
if
I'm not saying I hate it, I'm just not interested in it.
okay. If Four Corners do a report and they get all these your mates
your mates.
into them,
Which mates?
like lefty mates, all your mates, all your
Well,
lefty
you want to
mates.
fucking be careful here, little man. Because
What if you got
I've
this
had
little
This could be a
I've
2-hour
had
episode
the
today.
little hobbit fuck of bagging me on my opinions, which you don't understand because you're simple, short-minded.
I think,
What is
okay, to speed things up, I think we've got to be really careful with, I guess, the PC crowd that could take over and are destroying things. I know the
What
whip thing's
about-
really sensitive. There's so many things
What
that
about the jumps racing?
are on the brink.
That's going to go.
Yeah, there's going to be more pressure. It's sort of like the Opera House. I didn't agree that we had the silks of the Everest on the Opera House because you just
100%.
stir up all these people that are sort of borderline all hate racing, and it just shines the torch on us. And in the next 5 or 10 years, we're going to run into bigger problems, and this just makes things worse. So we need to get on with this as soon as we can, stamp it out if it's a big issue, and move on as quickly as possible. Because another thing, places like Japan, they lock the jockeys up the night before, and they can't talk on their mobile phones. Hong Kong's a lot cleaner. They've got a city bit issue, but apart from that, their racing should be as clean as anywhere in the world. And punters will gravitate to these other places where it's cleaner.
But
And that's a turnover problem.
You're talking over me. Let me finish. I'm going to clarify my position. It's good for the image of racing because it proves that Victorian racing is clean. If you fucking cheat, you are more of a chance of getting caught. If you to think that every other jurisdiction and every other sport, when I'm finished, I'll say I'm finished, is clean, please. So it's enforced, so you get some confidence that the sport of horse racing is, they're attempting to keep it clean.
Agree.
Okay? You're not going to ever please a certain large proportion of the society and convince them that all this has done is gone, I always thought it was crook. 100%. All it does is increase the confidence of people wagering on the sport to wager more that it's clean.
Yeah.
You go to the Flemington Carnival, all those carnivals, there's enough PR goes into attracting the younger crowd anyway that already show up because they don't give a fuck about the horses. They go there and eat pork rolls. So if you've got a problem with horse racing, don't eat meat. They drink piss and they party.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we can get into wagering. But the people who it's offended and are going to kick up the most already hated the sport and like the greyhounds.
But even
Even if they blow up enough that something gets almost changed, it won't happen because the tax dollar is worth more than anything else.
that's a fair
So
point.
it's all just chat.
No, your point's
I'm finished.
somewhat,
You may now speak,
somewhat
Jonathan.
valid, but
Thank you
miniature
for
racing, if you
clarifying
knock-
that my fucking
No,
point
but if
is
you knock
valid.
off, okay, so say the crowd they get 100,000 their cup day, and then there's a big push like it only takes one celebrity or something, and the crowd, you knock off some of those 16, 17 or 18 year olds, they go, no, it's no longer cool to be associated with the sport. So you lose 20% of the next generation punters, and so on and so forth.
No, you said you can't go from crowd to punter.
But it's the same thing.
20% of the crowd on Flemington Carnival Day isn't 20% of the next punter.
Was your first bet $100?
Nah.
No, exactly.
Don't
So
know what it was.
you grow into wagering. That's what I'm saying. You get there and you grow into it. So you're losing the base followers are racing. So you need to continually renew because you got. It's no different to any business, or people die, people drop out, people get cast.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, the image of racing is very important. So for someone, if you've got someone who, let's say, is new to Australia, and they come in, they go, this is an Australian, this is part of Australia, this is part of our culture. You go on Melbourne Cup Day, you go down the tote, and you have a box trifecta. You have $1 each way, or a jump on Betfair.
Excuse me, a little bit of respect. You log on to betfair.com.au, you deposit cash, and you snip above tote prices 20% on average.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's it.
Fucking come on, Jonathan.
Prior to Betfair in the early 90s or late 80s, and did your parents say, "Can't, it's Melbourne Cup. Here's the paper. What do you like the name of? Which horse do you reckon will win? I'll have 50 cents each one on it for you." Now, if people are saying no, horse racing is barbaric.
Someone's going to write in and blow up the employment handy about 50 cents.
I agree, because it is that sentiment, and I think you're both correct, and it sort of leads us into the next thing. Like, if what happens now with the movie Ride Like a Girl with Michelle and stuff like that, like it's public perception for that. If you're an investor in that show and you picked up the paper this morning, you are shitting your pants.
That movie, I think what you're saying, your point, is 100% right for that movie. That movie's now fucked. If you wrote a book about Darren Witt, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Because the perception
worst copyright of Melbourne Cup, we know Prince of Penzance was the worst horse since Brew to win a cup. Now, how did...
In your opinion?
Yeah.
Michelle, I disagree with those opinions, Michelle.
But how the hell was Prince of Penzance never won another race, never put in, and had one... It must have been the magical waters of Warrnambool that got that horse going as well. Like, who knows? It jumped out of its skin. But if all this is proven to be true, Jesus, it's going to... Look,
if it's proven to be true, the greed's what staggers me. Like,
the greed will bring anything in.
If he had kept his like poor horses to like 110 and been as successful as he is, but with the small pool of horses, he'd still be sweet. Because he's so dominant.
But it's all allegations.
Yeah.
I'll go to say, if all this is thrown out and none of this is proven to be true,
it's a fill up for defamation.
Weir is by far the best horse trainer that Australia has ever seen. If none of this, if these allegations are all thrown out,
I agree with that.
Yep.
I agree with that.
So, and if that's the case, this would be brilliant for racing because it'll be one of the battlers fought against the big machine and proved him wrong because he's a dead set champion. So that's something to think about for the audience.
Yeah, 100%.
It's an amazing story.
Now some viewer questions.
Don't we do them at the end of the show?
No, we might as well do them
now, mate.
That was fiery. I don't mind that because
I
thought I was after getting.
I'm really angry.
What did he call me? A fucking idiot?
Fucking idiot.
And I think a lefty, I sort of enjoyed that.
Because the greyhound racing, but there was the greyhound racing is great, but the Meadows and Sandown puts on one of the best spreads you've ever seen on a Thursday night. It's like $30 or $40.
This is a racing show, Jonathan.
It's at $50 all you can drink and eat, and you can gamble.
We'll go out there one night.
It's wall to wall, just relentless shit. It's like racing is largely, it's too much of it.
You're a purist.
You've never...
Each their own, Jonathan. That's what you need to understand.
Do you know what the
your
best thing about
trying to approach your life isn't the only way.
Do you know what you can do dogs from the yard, Dicko?
I don't know. Yeah, do you know what the best thing about greyhounds is?
Is there a yard dog?
Do you know
what the best thing about
greyhounds is? He's parading very well.
Do you know what the best thing about greyhounds is? They can't pull Craig Williams on the back of the greyhound in and say, now how come you didn't take the run, Craig? It's a dog. Falls over, bites the other dog, bad luck, and fair play, go on. They haven't got human interaction. So if a dog doesn't, well, they have got human interaction if they wanted to, but as a general rule,
so ignorant.
Viewer questions.
Get in. Don't bag the dogs.
Keep these guys
don't bag the dogs.
on the right track.
Okay, now
dog.
We had a good question from Sinbad. Where'd that one go?
Well, there's a good one from Josh. I think he was talking about stables and fluctuations late. I'm sure there'd be guys that sort of have some sort of indication whether horses drift or firm from different stables, because some stables are bigger betting stables. So like Landings, for example, I think they bet way too early. They bet on Wednesdays or 10 seconds after. They just cannot wait to back a horse off the mat. And then those horses I think are going to drift in the market. And then they're not the best stable. So a lot of those syndicates might take them on, or some people have got a set against some of the jockeys they use, and that'll explain a betting drift more so, I think.
Horses.
Oh, please.
Well, anyway, there's
certain patterns to the big monsters who bet late have things they don't like and do like, and if you are going to be against them, you're best off waiting. If you're going to be with them, you're best off, if you can, get them as quick as you can.
But you don't know if you're going to be with them or against them either.
As to stables, and especially Weir, you're just going to... My plan is to be very careful for the next week or 2 or 4. Yesterday was a disaster. Race 1, his horse hemorrhaged, River Mist, into favourite, and ran like a busted. It was a beauty. Then race 2, it was my Betfair Pro Lay because I wanted to bag Weir on the Pro Lays. And it was 290 out to 910 on the fair. 290 to 910 and almost fucking won. It was a big run.
But how about that River, whatever it was?
The Mist.
Yeah, got one in the first. Tomorrow. You know, anyone who got the mean thing. Yeah, get on. You're ready.
Anyway, there's going to be plenty of those getting around.
Yeah, so basically, a week ago, if a Weir horse was hemorrhaged like River Mist, it won, probably, 3 times out of 5. And if it drifted like the other thing, it ran last and probably broke down. So
when they say it's business as usual, they're going to try, but there's no way they can run an operation with 3 of their main men.
it's also the chaos of it. The chaos of like who's doing tactics, who's doing placements.
But even like that nervous energy around horses, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the parade, because if I'm nervous, I transfer that energy to a horse, and I'm all over the shop. So if all the stuff unravels,
some horses might be like Walshy, they get nervous and anxious, they just get aggressive and start swearing.
I'm not the one who's scared of swearing.
I think
I'm not swearing. I think my head off because you're a fucking idiot.
I think the market might take on Weir horses a little bit more than they should for the next.
Yes.
Let's call it for the next
Yeah,
week.
how tempting is that?
Or I think I'm going to back them.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I want to back them more than not. No,
It's
we'll
all
do
about
Caulfield.
It's all about bet regret for me. Like.
I think this is, when you say back them, I think the best thing is you're probably going to get an even playing field. This is what it all comes down to.
Yeah,
because
something like
the other thing about, I don't know, I'm not
Yeah.
a horse aficionado, but if they've had the jigger in the past, they're still going to think the end of the whip's a jigger, aren't they?
Well, I reckon I've heard. I'm not going to say that, no. But I'd assume, like if you train your dog for 2 years as a pup, you don't need to take it back to dog school when it's 6. It's got the message.
Oh, great. I actually got to whip it, and you hate greyhounds, you know?
Listen, you short, fat little boy. I don't hate greyhounds or dogs. I like. Oh no.
Anyway, what was the next question, Dicko?
The missus is just hearing the abuse.
What's the next question?
She's going to worry about you. How much did Advanced Hair set you back? Apparently, your hairline is flying on the show.
I've never been on Advanced Hair, as you're
It's
well
Rogaine,
aware.
isn't it?
I've been on the Rogaine, and like you on the Pro Scar. So
What's
you
a
end up
Pro
like,
Scar?
you end up like Gary Ablett. That's those tablets you take and they make you impotent and make your hair grow.
He's got very hairy arms, Dicko.
Yeah, he has been on those Pro Scar tablets and that. They reckon all those blokes just along with like Gary Ablett, Paul Chapman, was it David Johnson, the other baldy that played there in the...
They were all on it.
They were all on it.
It didn't work.
And then they barred it because it was a performance enhancer, and that's when they lost all their hair. It's Gary Ablett.
Mate, if you saw me run around the park today, mate, I'm not on anything performance enhancing. It was a...
Yeah, I don't know why they barred it. Didn't do much. They should have let him on. Imagine Gary Ablett getting around with it. If he didn't have the Lex Luthor, he'd be slaying it more than he already does.
Alright,
Next question.
Junior.
Drewsies. How do you manage being father of the year while keeping the cash rolling in? Any advice to pass on for the father to be? Me.
Oh, Dicko, it's fucking simple. They're one and the same thing. If you keep the cash rolling in, of course you're father of the year. It's all about being...
Love
it's all about being what? Snippable.
Maybe Snowy Clark. Maybe Snowy Clark can get you on next for a little book on what
Snow you.
father advice from Jonathan Bolt.
Yeah, wow. Not touching that.
Making the baby's not hard.
Well, apparently it all.
Can we just touch it? So why did you have your shirt off on at Sandown on Monday? That's my viewer question.
I had a big day.
Yeah.
And I was under a bit of pressure.
Right.
Because I'm about to be a father. And I got really excited and I knocked a bowl of water, my water on me, and it was just drying off because it was very, very hot.
Right.
I was 400 metres from the nearest human being. I don't know.
What's
That
that?
might be
It's a paparazzi got you?
That might be far
And
away.
Josh was there with us betting, but
Human being. Paparazzi got you.
no, there was no one near us. So I wasn't like rolling around the betting.
So Josh is on
Yeah.
human being.
Want to
Well,
check out on the Twitter feed for the female viewers.
He's another hobbit like me.
Yeah,
isn't he?
he's part of the Fellowship of the Rings with you.
Yeah.
A couple of other
Desolation of Small.
short asses. Yeah.
That's a good one. How's the heat been affecting the parade?
Yesterday was bad at Mornington.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. It was too hot to live, and then it pissed with rain, and they caught them off. But so they parade short and sharp, and most of them sweat pretty freely. I don't pay it much attention. So I more look for things that are different from the rest of them. Do you know what I mean? So if it's relevant to the race, so if they're all sweating, it doesn't matter. It's not a factor.
Don't need to give away your edge. If they want your edge, they can pay their $11 a week.
Fair enough, Jonathan.
Don't you think?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I'll support you in this area.
Well, that's my business partners that want to ask some questions. So. Any other questions? That's probably it.
Oh, yeah, that's it, isn't it?
Mainly about Weir, which I think we've done to death.
Yeah, we do the first 3
Anything
races and then
What we'll start.
No, dude, that's part one.
part 1. I thought it was going to be a blue there.
You